Hi, everyone. My name is Sephra Jerome, in case you don't know yet, and I am a horror writer, a tarot card reader, an actress, and a huge Star Wars fan. So I talk about all kinds of things in Sephra's world, which is what I've called my channel and my website and just everything else. So I'm in the middle of dealing with these Star Wars rumors, and I shouldn't say the middle because it's a lifelong thing because there's been Star Wars rumors since Star Wars was invented, and now we are a year away from the last Star Wars movie and a year away from the next Star Wars movie, so we're smack dab in the middle, and the rumors are starting to fly. People have gotten over their love or hate for The Last Jedi, and now people are getting focused on what Episode 9 is going to bring for us. I see headlines all over the place, but I don't always click because I want to be surprised for the next one. However, I do know as well that anything I'm reading is just speculation, just like I'm speculating. Everyone's just making stuff up right now because we all are throwing our theories out and we're getting excited. And so this is part of the fun of Star Wars. And for a while there, The Last Jedi took some of that away from us because a lot of people didn't, including myself, didn't feel like formulating Star Wars theories because The Last Jedi subverted everything that we got excited about, right? Which was Rian Johnson's choice of how he chose to tell the story. But for those of us that like to unlock puzzle boxes and grab little kernels of information from like a scene or a line and then hope it has an impact in the next movie or the next chapter, he took that fun away because we didn't get to deal with anything at all that we thought we would in The Last Jedi, which we know everybody's talked about a bazillion times. But now I can see on the YouTube channels, people are getting excited again, and my phone keeps telling me things, even though I don't want to know. I really don't. I don't want to know the truth about what's going to happen in Episode 9 because I want to be excited. But so I don't click through all the rumors yet, but I can't help but seeing headlines that flash across my phone because, of course, the robot overlords know that I'm a Star Wars fan, so they keep throwing things into my phone. So I saw something about Kevin Smith crying on the set of Episode 9. I want to address that. I have not read anything about it or watched any of the YouTubes about it, including his own if he made one. All I can say to that is that when The Last Jedi came out, I think it was around January or so, I watched Kevin Smith give a big long, I think it was like an hour long rant about how much he hated The Last Jedi, and it was upsetting. He was upset. I agreed with pretty much everything he said back then with what he was upset about, but I do know that since then he has recanted his hate for The Last Jedi, and I don't know if that video is still up. I haven't looked because I know, but I do know he did post one where he said it wasn't so bad, and so and I know why he did that. Obviously, he has to work with all these people. Like he lives in, he's a Hollywood guy. He has to like look at Kathleen Kennedy and Rian Johnson. They're all at the same party. You see, he has to play nice. So I know how that goes. Believe me, I know because I'm in the entertainment business as well, and you got to play nice. So, but he said he cried on the. There's rumors he's cried on the set. So let's hope he's crying because he's so happy at some of the stuff he's seen happening that maybe some of the answers we were hoping for in Chapter 8 will now be revealed in Chapter 9. That's all I can say about that. Is I'm pretty sure he was crying tears of joy that he survived his heart attack long enough to see a good Star Wars movie instead of dying when a crappy one. Because I'm not the biggest Last Jedi fan. I didn't completely hate it. As we know, I did not like the fact they killed Luke, and that's my biggest beef. then there was some YouTube videos talking about how J.J. Abrams is just totally like taking a hammer to everything Ryan Johnson did and just destroying everything The Last Jedi set up, which we have to admit The Last Jedi didn't set up anything because it all fell apart by the end. There's no motivation for nine at all. So maybe he's gotten rid of some of the characters, and it's not the actors' faults. Like I've said before, Rose Tico was a totally pointless character, but Kelly Marie Tran seems like a sweetheart, and she did a great job. But there's no point for Rose. We need to focus. There's too many characters. You know, if they want us to fall in love with Finn and Poe and Rey, then we got to see more of them and what their deals are and who they are and what they are and why we should care at all. You know? Last Jedi did do a pretty good job with the Kylo Ren arc. It could have been more, it could have been deeper, but he went to Las Vegas instead of dealing with Kylo and Darth and all that. But another thing I want to say about Rumors is that I keep seeing on TV all these commercials for the Darth Vader Lego castle, and it's like, why is there suddenly a Darth Vader Lego castle being released? We've never seen this. In Rogue One, yes, we saw Darth Vader's castle, but that was like 3 years ago. So why would they suddenly make a castle now? So I'm hoping that means that we get to see Darth Vader's castle in episode 9. I'm hoping that's what that means, that Kylo maybe goes and takes over. Is the castle sitting empty? Did it blow up? I don't know enough about Star Wars lore to know what happened to the castle. If it's still there, and maybe Kylo will go there and hang out and sit on the throne or whatever happens in the castle. Maybe he'll cut off his arms and legs so he can be truly Darth Vader. I don't know. Just being silly now. However, I did have one theory that's all my own, and I didn't read or hear about it anywhere, but it came to me just after I did my recording a couple days ago, actually, but I don't want to bombard all my subscribers with a million Star Wars recordings a day, so I waited a couple days. But my theory is that J.J. Abrams has a really good feel for storytelling. You know, we've all seen him do lots of movies and TV shows, and yeah, sometimes like I know people were disappointed with the Lost TV series because he didn't have an ending or whatever. I never got into it, so I don't know much about. I saw a few episodes, but I wasn't engaged or involved in the Lost show. Not because I didn't like it, I just didn't have time to invest in it at that time of my life into so many years in a TV show. However, my point is J.J. Abrams is a Star Wars fan, which he proved in The Force Awakens because he tried to do a reboot that drew in old fans and new fans, and although he didn't have to do it that way, but that's a whole other, I've talked about that too many times too. But anyways, the fact that J.J. Abrams has a sense of the lore and understands how fans are upset, and even though he was producer on The Last Jedi and theoretically would have had some engagement with Ryan Johnson's script, but again, we don't know how these things are done. We don't have a clue how these things are done. So I have a high hope that he will go back to the original kind of characters and what we actually know about them. And what we do know is that Luke and Leia are twins. And you know, because I'm trying to wrap my head around Carrie Fisher's death and everything, right? And how I am still angry that they made Luke die when Carrie should have died. And then I went a little further in my thought. I think about it every day about how Luke's dead, but so it came to me too that maybe even though the last scene is like Luke's body is gone, but the coat just flutters down, but there's no mechanical hand that comes down, because if his body went somewhere like to heaven or whatever happens, his hand probably would have dropped because it's not flesh, it's mechanical. So perhaps he transported or teleported somewhere else. And I know Mark Hamill keeps making jokes about how Luke Skywalker teleported to a nudist colony and he's hanging out there now because he had no clothes, right? But maybe Luke did teleport somewhere and couldn't bring the robe, yet brought the hand. See, that's the discrepancy that doesn't make sense. Because if it was all physical earth things falling because he dissolved into the sky, the hand would have dropped as well as the robe. And of course, that could have just been a sloppy filmmaking overlook thing, though I'm not sure how, you know, the 55 people involved in the editing process all would have missed that. But it's possible. It's possible people did miss that. So my thought is that maybe Luke was trying to teleport somewhere and then just dropped further down on a rock or something, and then kind of comes to, and he's calling in his head like, help me, I don't feel well or whatever, and Leia hears him right in her head, like in the other movies where she heard his call for help. There she did show some force a tiny bit. Oop, my screensaver, a tiny bit before, so it wouldn't be unusual she would hear his call for help, and then she could come to him in whatever space vehicle to wherever he is, whether he's still on Act 2 or somewhere else, and then she can come, and she realizes that she herself has to make a sacrifice, because in order to heal Luke she has to die, or to bring him, or maybe he's dead and she sees his body, and then so she can bring his body back, and then but she has to die because they're twins, and so she can give him essence that no one else can because she's a twin, and be magical force things, Jedi things, magic, religion, I don't know, but somehow she can resurrect him, but she would die in the process, and that way we get a fitting heroic ending for Leia with her brother. They came into the world together, and now she's left to help him grow stronger and to continue his work, so that he can go on and do what he has to do. I do not believe for 1 minute he will ever kill Kylo Ren, because that's his nephew and his sister's son. And we already know he's not going to kill him, or he would have killed him a long time ago. He would have killed him back when he was a child. As people have pointed out, that it is the Jedi way to try and kill people off before they get too evil. But again, he has the whole family connection thing, so he wouldn't be able to kill Kylo Ren, but certainly Rey or someone else could. And I don't think Rey... don't get me started with Rey. Anyways, my theory is Leia will die, bringing Luke back to life. I think that would be a magnificent story, and that's my theory for today. Okay, have a good day. Do you have theories? Put them down there. And also, if you want to find out more about me, you can go to my website, suffragearound.ca. You can see it. I have all the links down below. You can sponsor me on Patreon and get a little glimpse to my crazy life behind the scenes. Sometimes it's boring, sometimes it's wacky. And I teach courses on Udemy. I teach several courses on Udemy, so you could come and take some courses with me too. Okay, so thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time. And don't forget to subscribe and to hit the bell for notifications, and to tell me about your Star Wars theories. What do you want to see happen in episode 9?